Now at 5, the economy slows, leaving many wondering if America is speeding toward a recession. How this is impacting families in the DMV tonight. Calling for backup. What D.C.'s mayor is doing to help with migrants being bused to the district from the southern border. And later, connected shooting. Police reveal whether 3 shootings overnight in D.C. are connected. Injured a pregnant woman. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the news at 5. I'm Mark Hall. It was certainly a hot and humid day. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with a check on the forecast. Damon, we saw a little rain earlier today. Is that now past?
Well, Mark, it looks like we're going to keep on dealing with those heavier downpours on occasion, all that warmth and humidity leading to some of this activity. We've been live in your local Ford Weather Center all afternoon, keeping an eye out. And yes, there's some of that development that has taken shape. Some showers back across portions of western Maryland, stretching through Cumberland, right down Interstate 70 toward Hagerstown. So we have those showers right there. And then those heavier downpours popped up near Harper's Ferry, crossed Loudoun County. We also had a brief downpour in Washington, D.C., and then a bit of a heavier storm down across portions of southern Maryland. So, as we talked about earlier in the day, this activity is very localized, isolated, with a lot of dry locations mixed in. But yes, we're going to continue to see a little bit of this activity out ahead of this approaching cold front that is going to be swinging in from the Great Lakes as we go into the day on Friday, bringing about even more shower and storm activity before the week is done, and then bringing about some major changes as we go into the weekend. So at least for the time being this evening, those brief heavy downpours will be lasting up until about 8 p.m. tonight. Once that sun goes down, the activity will also end, and then we're looking at just a mild night, but a dry one at that, under a partly cloudy sky, with those temperatures only falling back down into the 70s once again. But I mentioned that activity that should be moving in for us on Friday. Could we see a few stronger to severe storms mixed in? We'll let you know in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, the U.S. economy shrank from April through June for a second straight quarter, and that is raising fears that the nation may be approaching a recession. We begin our coverage tonight with Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson with how this is all playing out.
Good evening. It's becoming a debate on Capitol Hill over whether the country is in a recession. The president is steering clear of that language. Instead, Democrats are unveiling a new plan to fight inflation.
Democrats have plunged America into a recession.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell and West Virginia Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito are slamming Democrats' policies for Thursday's gloomy economic report.
We have an administration that doesn't seem to be willing to face the music and try to make these things better.
A second straight quarter of negative GDP typically signals a recession, but the White House insists that's not the case, pointing to the strong job market.
That doesn't sound like a recession to me.
West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin says he has a plan to deal with rising prices and protect the economy. Manchin says his Inflation Reduction Act would lower prescription drug prices while also investing in energy security and climate change programs.
This is not a Democrat bill. This is not a Republican bill. This is an American bill.
But Capito says the bill would actually raise prices.
And I think it will fuel this fire of inflation even more.
And this report follows the announcement by the Federal Reserve that they are raising interest rates to protect the economy. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson, back to you.
Well, tonight, concerns about the economy are top of mind for many American families. We continue our team coverage with Katie Ree. And Katie, you talked to Mom. What did she say?
Now, she tells me that she might have to move in order to keep providing for her 2 kids. And other shoppers that I spoke to say the decision to pay rent or to put food on the table is coming up far more often than before, and it's putting families on edge.
People are really suffering.
The United States economy shrinks for the second consecutive quarter. That's raising red flags that America could be heading towards a recession. Tonight, families are struggling to keep up with rising prices.
When you go to the store before the inflation, you go to the store with a $100 bill. You come out with 2 bunch of bags looking happy. But now, going to the store with a $100 bill, you come out with a single bag. And you're like, What the heck?
I spoke to Patrick Moriarty, a financial advisor, and he tells me a recession is unlikely to unfold based on factors determined by the National Bureau of Economic Research.
I don't think we're officially in a recession, but it sure feels like one. This research organization looks at more than just gross domestic product. They look at 6 factors, which include personal income, non-farm payrolls, employment, consumption, sales, and GDP. So some of these numbers are negative. The production side of it is negative, but the employment side of it is very strong. We still have very low unemployment.
So when will we see any relief? According to Moriarty, the answer could depend on oil prices.
The price of gasoline affects everybody. Everybody drives cars. It's very expensive to fill up your car, but also gasoline and oil are part of the whole economy. Everything is shipped by a train or a truck, and as that price comes down, the price of goods will come down as well.
One shopper I spoke to has this suggestion for the Fed.
They should come live within the masses. They would see that a lot of people are suffering. They're just trying to live up with whatever it is they get.
Now, Moriarty says it could be months before people see any relief. Now, he said normal inflation could take around 18 months to 2 years for it to move through the system and for prices to come down. So he believes that they've got, 7 months or even 9 months of higher prices for consumers. And he says that one of the indicators of a recession could be a rise in unemployment, which currently is not happening. Mark?
Katie, thank you. And developing now, D.C.'s mayor says the district is facing a humanitarian crisis. She's asking the federal government's help with a recent rise in immigrants coming here seeking asylum. Max Marcilla joins us live from Union Station, where thousands of those immigrants arrived, and he's live with the latest on the mayor's plea. Max?
Well, Mark, Muriel Bowser is asking for D.C.'s National Guard to be activated to give an extra set of hands to what she is calling a humanitarian crisis, one that she says is because Texas and Arkansas are sending migrants on buses to the district in what she's calling cruel and politically motivated move. She expects the numbers of migrants will continue to rise and says that the federal government needs to act. Unlike other states, D.C. needs the president's approval to activate its National Guard, which Bowser says can help with logistics and access to more space for the migrants. Now, she also added that the response to the rise of migrants cannot be a city-by-city or a state-by-state response.
We see it with people who are coming to the United States from Ukraine. So there is a robust federal response that helps people with transportation on to their final destinations, and in even getting them a legal route to work.
Now, so far, Mayor Bowser says the district has relied on the nonprofit community and FEMA to help assist the migrants coming, but she reiterated time and time again during a press conference today that this needs to be a federal government-led response. Reporting live at Union Station, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Max, thank you. And good news for Metro riders. Metro is adding more trains on the blue, orange, and silver lines. Starting Monday, trains will arrive every 15 minutes on the platform on weekdays. Now, this means customers will have a shorter wait time of 5 to 8 minutes. Most Metro stations are served by at least 2 of those lines currently. Now, trains arrive every 20 minutes, and Metro's new general manager and CEO, Randy Clark, hopes to improve service and restore the confidence of the transit system.
Now, is that service to where we exactly want it? No, but that is a big improvement in one interval, and the team is working really hard to deliver that consistently. So, as many people will notice publicly, and I hope, and the board, we've delivered now 4 days straight of consistent 8 cars, 8 train sets of 7 Ks out in the system. The team and I've talked about, the expectation is we are never going back from that. And the team feels very confident right there on that measure. That kind of production is allowing us to move to a 15-minute service on Monday, and we're going to then continue to work at the next interval and the next interval after that.
And Metro expects to expand service improvements on the blue, orange, and silver lines on weekends in September. Of what we've listened to of the meeting, the board did not address recent social media allegations which claim a woman was sexually assaulted while on the Metro. Happening now, Capitol Police are on high alert ahead of tonight's congressional baseball game. Several political groups are planning to disrupt the game, and that's held each year for charity. And these groups include the Green New Deal Network and Shut Down D.C. And they say the idea is to have nonviolent, loud, disrupting protest and ultimately get the attention of lawmakers. An immediate action, they say, can be taken would come from President Biden. The group wants him to sign an executive order declaring a climate emergency.
We're doing something bold and out of the box like this is because we just refuse to accept the reality where the inaction of Congress leads to death and suffering and deprives my generation of a livable future.
U.S. Capitol Police Chief released a statement urging people who plan to be violent or unlawful to stay home. While the protesting groups say they won't go unnoticed, they say that there are no plans to storm the field during the game. And tonight, we are waiting to hear what Daniel Snyder, the Washington Commanders owner, said in his private testimony today. He appeared before the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Reform, and they're investigating the NFL team's history of workplace misconduct. The committee has the power to decide whether they release any information from Snyder's deposition. Developing now, a search is underway for the driver police say hit and killed a woman in Howard County. The body of Joseph Delaverts, it was found in the median of Snowden River Parkway south of Oakland Mills Road. Around 6:30 this morning, investigators believe that Delaverts was skateboarding when he was struck. Anyone in the area at the time of the crash should give Howard County Police a call. And 2 people and a dog are displaced this evening after a fire tore through a home in Loudoun County, killing 2 other dogs. It happened this morning on Milligan's Run Lane in Purcellville. Now, when firefighters arrived to the scene, helping 2 people and 1 of their dogs escape the blaze, they were taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and the dog was treated by an emergency vet. Family's 2 other dogs unfortunately didn't make it after being trapped inside the apartment. The fire department bravely were able to get all of the animals out of the house to save the trapped animals, but 2 of them later died due to smoke inhalation. Loudoun County Fire and Rescue says the fire was accidental. In health news, monkeypox vaccines are on the way. Almost 800,000 doses are being shipped to the U.S. This as hundreds of people have been infected across the DMV. The district currently has 205 cases, according to the CDC. Maryland has 101, Virginia 39, and West Virginia is reporting 2 cases. Health officials stress that anyone can catch the monkeypox virus. 2 children have tested positive in the U.S. so far, including 1 who is isolating here in the district.